Lance Stroll, his car will be ready. Sebastian Vettel, I doubt it. It's possible, but I doubt it.
They've given it the best go they possibly can to get that Aston Martin fixed in time, but sadly they're going to run out of time, and there once again the Williams of Nicholas Latifi, and the red flag comes out, and as we saw in Jeddah, Latifi has hit the barriers, and this time it's spun him round and round and round.
So Latifi's appeared from... He's been off the track, I think, at turn 3.
Well, Lance Stroll overtakes him, and then Latifi tries to get past again.
Yeah, so I think Stroll was beginning to move right to let the Alpha through.
Latifi, man, what the f is he just doing? He just hit me, man.
That's gearbox and the whole lot, and what an expensive shunt. The Williams has just let him through.
Yeah.
So I think he was perhaps then reacting to the Alpha that's coming along. But obviously Latifi gets back on it. Boom. Just a misunderstanding, a very expensive misunderstanding for both teams.
Don't understand what he was doing.
Are you okay?
He wasn't looking in his mirrors.
Are you okay?
Car's destroyed.
Right, what a great effort. Well done in the Aston Martin garage. Sebastian Vettel is coming out, and he's got the potential here to get a lap in, but he's right at the back of that queue. Down the straights with Daniel Ricciardo. We'll get an indication of what the track conditions are like. Hasn't managed to improve his time. Stays in 11th place. So maybe the McLaren needed another lap's warm-up to bring the tyres into their working range. Gasly was 13th, and he's now moved up to 10th. Next across the line, Yuki Tsunoda, and Sebastian Vettel. Has he done it? Do you know what? It's a decent time of a 1:21.1, but that's only 18th for him, sadly, and that's his only lap in qualifying. Kevin Magnussen has crossed the line, couldn't improve his time. Alex Albon, 16th overall. He will get a 3-place grid penalty for the collision with Lance Stroll at the previous race. The drama for the Williams team continues. Alex Albon stopping by the side of the track. Your bottom 5, Albon, Magnussen, Vettel, Latifi and Stroll. Very, very close to the wall. Esteban Ocon giving it everything out of the final corner and goes 8th fastest. Not by much, but he's into the top 10. So, here comes Pierre Gasly next. What can he do about it? Carlos Sainz has gone best overall in the middle sector as Gasly crosses the line, and Gasly will stay in the bottom 5. Daniel Ricciardo currently on the cusp. Hamilton, the driver, at risk. Yuki Tsunoda doing well enough to put some pressure on here as Ricciardo now crosses the line. He'd like to go a bit higher and does. Goes 8th fastest, pushes now Lewis Hamilton down into 10th, and it gets a round of applause for his troubles as well. They would so love, as would everyone, to see Daniel Ricciardo here in Q3 today. Tsunoda doesn't make it through into Q3, neither does Valtteri Bottas, whose long-running streak comes to an end. Lewis Hamilton goes up into 8th place. Bottas, ever since his first race at Mercedes, has made it to Q3. Today, that run, sadly, comes to an end. We have lost from Q2 Pierre Gasly and Valtteri Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda and Zhou Guanyu, and Mick Schumacher as well.
Fernando's really been hustling. The old Fernando we know so well. He seems really happy out there as the Ferrari. Oh, no, in the wall then.
And that is, sadly, the Alpine of Fernando Alonso, who was hustling and he was motoring, and it has come to a sudden end against the wall.
Yeah, so he's grabbed a little bit of grass on the way in, gone in too deep on the brakes, had to steer into the slide.
I lost the hydraulics and I could not change gear.
That's why he got in deep into the corner then. He needs some exceptional corners at the end of this lap if he's going to put that Red Bull on the front row, let alone pole.
Behind him on the road, Charles Leclerc is maybe stretching his advantage for Ferrari. Blistering first sector for Leclerc. Verstappen's given it absolutely everything here. Down the straight he goes, and onto provisional pole for Max Verstappen, only by 8/100ths of a second, but it's advantage Verstappen at the moment.
And Sainz then starts his final effort as well. He gets over the line in time. And Leclerc, though, on another great lap, as you say.
Sainz had gone off the track at turn 6. That's why he just backed out a little bit, but he got to the flag just in time to start one more flying lap. Meanwhile, his teammate Charles Leclerc would like to go back to the top of the pile. Leclerc crosses the line now and goes on to pole, and he's stretched that advantage over Red Bull to nearly 0.3 of a second. Is this now then a second pole of the season for Charles Leclerc? He's back on top.
And Sainz has had a poor first sector. He will only start 9th in the other Ferrari, so unlucky to lose that lap time with the red flags. But more action to come yet.
Lando Norris on the second row, 4th fastest for McLaren. Daniel Ricciardo down in 6th fastest, but certainly a much better qualifying for him and his McLaren teammate. Where can Lewis Hamilton put the Mercedes? He's had another go, and he goes 5th fastest, ahead then of George Russell. Charles Leclerc is on pole.
P1. Let's go. Oh, nice lap. Nice lap.
Ferrari's first pole here in Melbourne since Kimi Raikkonen in 2007. He is the only man other than Lewis Hamilton in this hybrid era in Formula One of V6 engines to take an Australian Grand Prix pole.
1/3 of a second is the pole position advantage of Leclerc, and poor old Carlos Sainz only starts 9th, so Ocon up into 8th. Alonso starts 10th when they fix his motor.